All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Sarabjit Kaur and with me is Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address inaugural conclave of Shikshak Parv at 10:30 a.m. today. India administers more than 1 crore doses of COVID vaccine in a single day. Vaccination coverage crosses 69 crore 68 lakh mark. 11 persons in contact list of Kozhikode Nipah virus victim developed symptoms of infection. Centre asks Kerala government to strengthen hospital and community-based surveillance to contain outbreak of Nipah virus. Railways introduces new AC 3-tier economy class coaches with reduced fare. Enforcement Directorate questions Trinamool Congress MP Abhishek Banerjee in money laundering case linked to coal pilferage scam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to chair 13th BRICS Summit on Thursday. And in cricket, India beat England by 157 runs in 4th Test to take 2-1 lead in 5-match series. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in the morning news since 16th August and will continue till 15th August 2022. India Post has joined hands as the logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Recalling our yesterday's question, which freedom fighter gave the call, Dilli Chalo? The correct answer is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. After taking over the commandership of the Indian National Army in July 1943, Netaji introduced new regiments and made preparations to go into battle with a rousing war cry, Dilli Chalo. AIR News got an overwhelming response from its listeners across the world, and the one lucky winner of the quiz is Suman Das from Howrah, West Bengal.
मेरा नाम सुमन दास है। मैं हावड़ा वेस्ट बंगाल का रहने वाला हूँ। अमृत महोत्सव क्विज में भागीदारी करके हमने जो आनंद महसूस किया है वो बहुत बढ़िया है और विजेता बनने में बहुत मेरा खुशी हो रहा है। मैं बहुत दिन से ये कोशिश कर रहा हूँ और आप लोग भी कोशिश कीजिए, आप भी विजेता बन सकते हैं। मैं बहुत दिन से AIR न्यूज़ सुन रहा हूँ। इसका न्यूज़ बहुत ही सुंदर है, बहुत ज्ञानवर्धक है। हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे 75 ईयर्स।
And coming to our 8th question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz in English. Who founded the Free India Society? I repeat the question. Who founded the Free India Society? Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 8826546262. Repeat, 8826546262 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. Repeat, amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. One lucky participant will be selected as a winner and will be announced in tomorrow's morning news. The winner will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize.
And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the inaugural conclave of Shikshak Parv at 11 a.m. today at 10:30 a.m. today through video conferencing. He will also launch multiple key initiatives in the education sector during the event. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan and Union Ministers of State for Education Annapurna Devi, Dr. Subhash Sarkar and Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh will also be present during the event. More details from our correspondent.
The Prime Minister will launch Indian Sign Language Dictionary, an audio and text-embedded sign language video for the hearing impaired in conformity with Universal Design of Learning, talking books, which is audio books for the visually impaired, and School Quality Assurance and Assessment Framework of CBSE. Mr. Modi will also launch NISTA Teachers Training Program for Nipun Bharat and Vidyanjali Portal for facilitating education volunteers, donors, and corporate social responsibility CSR contributors for school development. The theme of Shikshak Parv 2021 is Quality and Sustainable Schools, Learning from Schools in India. Its celebration will encourage innovative practices to ensure not only continuity of education at all levels, but to improve quality, inclusive practices and sustainability in schools across the country as well. The inaugural conclave will be followed by webinars, discussion and presentations up to 17th of this month, in which the educational practitioners from various schools of the country have been invited to share their experience, learnings and the roadmap ahead. Teachers and practitioners from even remote schools will be speaking on issues relating quality and innovation in schools. Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
In a landmark achievement, India administered more than 1 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccine yesterday. The Union Health Ministry said this feat has been achieved thrice in the last 11 days. India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage crossed 69 crore 68 lakh yesterday. The ministry said over 53 crore vaccine doses have been administered as the first dose and over 16 crore vaccine doses were given as the second dose. The new phase of universalization of COVID-19 vaccination commenced from 21st of June this year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed happiness on the administration of 1 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccine yesterday again and victory of India against England in Oval Test. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, "It is a great day again on the vaccination front and on the cricket pitch as well." He said, as always, Team India wins. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has said that the month of September has started on a high note as India touched 1 crore COVID-19 vaccinations yesterday. In a tweet, Mr. Mandavia said, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the world's largest vaccination drive is scaling massive heights. Sports Minister Anurag Thakur also congratulated people on crossing 1 crore vaccine doses again yesterday. In a tweet, Mr. Thakur said, "It was a great fight on the field and off the field against COVID-19. He said India's vaccination figures crossed 1 crore for the third time.
In Bihar, COVID vaccination coverage has crossed over 4 crore mark. Out of these, 3 crore 40 lakh 93,203 beneficiaries have received their first dose and 69 lakh 98,000 their second dose. Over 16 lakh 74,000 people in the state were administered vaccine doses during the COVID mega vaccination drive yesterday. Meanwhile, over 7 lakh 16,000 people have so far recovered from the coronavirus infection. The centre has suggested the Kerala government that both hospital-based and community-based surveillance needs to be strengthened in view of the Nipah virus. Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has written to the Kerala Chief Secretary recommending measures to be taken in the wake of the outbreak in Crore based on a report submitted by a central team that visited the district. He said awareness needs to be created among the field formations for early detection of cases of acute encephalitis syndrome or respiratory distress and risk communicated to the public. In the letter, Mr. Bhushan suggested that active search for cases needs to be undertaken in the containment area as per the micro-plan provided by the central team. The Health Secretary said the nearby districts of Kannur, Malappuram and Wayanad needs to be alerted. In accordance with the request of the state government, Director General Indian Council of Medical Research has initiated action to establish point-of-care testing at Virus Research and Diagnostic Lab in Kozhikode. The centre said a 24/7 control room needs to be set up for daily reporting and sharing information with the media. Kerala is in high alert on the wake of Nipah outbreak in Crore district. The centre has directed Kerala to be cautious and lend support in containing the pandemic. More details from our correspondent.
Kerala State Health Minister Veena George said that 251 persons, including 129 health workers, have been traced to come in contact with the boy who succumbed to the Nipah virus on Sunday. Of these, 54 persons are in the high-risk group. 11 persons in the contact list have developed symptoms of the infection, but their condition is stable. Minister said that though the situation is not alarming, vigil should be maintained. State Health Department has formulated a detailed Nipah control plan. The lab set up by the National Institute of Virology Pune at the Kozhikode Medical College Hospital became functional last evening. Meanwhile, studies are ongoing to trace the source of infection. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
The Railways has introduced the new AC 3-tier economy class coach with reduced fare. The service began yesterday, and for the first time, the coach has been attached to train number 02403 Prayagraj Jaipur Express. The Railways Ministry said the new AC economy coach has 83 berths as compared to 72 berths in 3 AC coach. The fare structure for this coach is 8% lesser than 3 AC coach. The ministry said 2 more trains, New Delhi, Lucknow AC Special and Lucknow Mail, will be augmented with this new 3 AC economy coach. Initially, 50 new economy coaches manufactured by Rail Coach Factory in Kapurthala are ready to offer services in mail and express trains over different zones. Provision of entry into the coach and disabled-friendly toilet in a wheelchair has been made. Improved and modular design of seats and berths have been made to improve comfort, reduce weight of the coach, and improve maintenance friendliness. The Union Government has said that more than 1 crore 30 lakh farmers have benefited from the ongoing Kharif marketing season procurement operations with MSP value of around 1,68,000 crore rupees. The Consumer Affairs Ministry said purchase of over 889 lakh tons of paddy has been done till the 5th of this month against last year's corresponding purchase of around 764 lakh tons. The ministry said paddy procurement has reached an all-time high, surpassing previous high of 773 lakh tons in 2019-20. Over 433 lakh tons of wheat has been procured during the Rabi marketing season 2021-22 against last year's corresponding purchase of around 390 lakh tons. The ministry said more than 49 lakh farmers have already benefited from the procurement operations with MSP value of 85,603 crore rupees.
Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar has stressed that agriculture has to be linked with digital technology, scientific research and knowledge. Speaking at the Chief Minister's Conference on Initiatives and Schemes of Ministry of Agriculture through video conferencing yesterday, Mr. Tomar emphasized that the central government and state governments must work together for agriculture to give a boost to the economy. The minister asked the states to create a database for the state using the Federated Farmer Database prepared by Government of India and allow linkage to State Land Record Database. Mr. Tomar said that the ministry has created a database of 5.5 crore farmers and it will be increased to 8 crore farmers by December this year.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address inaugural conclave of Shikshak Parv at 10:30 a.m. today. India administers more than 1 crore doses of COVID vaccine in a single day. Vaccination coverage crosses 69 crore 68 lakh mark. 11 persons in contact list of Kozhikode Nipah virus victim develop symptoms of infection. Centre asked Kerala government to strengthen hospital and community-based surveillance to contain outbreak of Nipah virus. Railways introduces new AC 3-tier economy class coaches with reduced fare. Enforcement Directorate questions Trinamool Congress MP Abhishek Banerjee in money laundering case linked to coal pilferage scam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to chair 13th BRICS Summit on Thursday. And in cricket, India beat England by 157 runs in 4th test to take 2-1 lead in 5-match series. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो
Welcome back to the morning news. Enforcement Directorate has questioned Trinamool Congress MP Abhishek Banerjee in a money laundering case linked to an alleged coal pilferage scam. Abhishek appeared before the probe agency, New Delhi, yesterday. His wife too was called by the agency, but citing COVID-19 pandemic, she requested the agency to question her at her residence in Kolkata. The probe led by the ED is based on an FIR registered by the Central Bureau of Investigation over alleged mass coal pilferage in Eastern Coalfields Limited mines in West Bengal's Kunu Storia and Kajora collieries. Earlier speaking to reporters, Mr. Banerjee said the investigating agency has summoned him and he is ready to face any investigation. Mr. Banerjee said the investigation agency is doing their job and as a citizen he will cooperate with them. As part of India's ongoing chairship of BRICS in 2021, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will chair the 13th BRICS Summit on the 9th of this month in a virtual format. The meeting will be attended by the President of Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro, President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, President of China, Xi Jinping, and President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. The theme for the summit is BRICS at 15, Intra-BRICS Cooperation for Continuity, Consolidation and Consensus. India had outlined 4 priority areas for its chairship. These are reform of the multilateral system, counter-terrorism, using digital and technological tools for achieving sustainable development goals, and enhancing people-to-people exchanges.
As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. India's glorious fight for freedom is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the valiant struggle every day. Mahatma Gandhi participated in the second Roundtable Conference this day in the year 1931 in London.
To review the working of Government of India Act 1919, the Simon Commission was appointed in 1927. The report of the Simon Commission became the basis of discussions held in Britain to consider the future constitution of India.
These discussions were held in a series of meetings in 3 sessions and were known as the Roundtable Conference. The first session, which started in November 1930, had 73 representatives from all Indian states and all parties except the Indian National Congress.
Indian National Congress was waging a civil disobedience movement against the colonial British government. The second session from September 1931 was attended by Gandhiji as the Congress representative. It failed to reach an agreement either on the constitution or on communal representation.
The third and the last session was held in November 1932, was shorter and less important, with neither the Congress nor the British Labour Party attending.
It was the result of deliberations at the Round Table conferences that the British government came up with the Government of India Act 1935, which established provincial autonomy in India.
Today is also the death anniversary of a prolific writer and freedom fighter, Ram Briksha Benipuri. Ram Briksha Benipuri hailed from Muzaffarpur in Bihar.
Benipuri took active part in the agitation against the Rowlatt Act and participated in the non-cooperation movement. Benipuri was a leading light of the Congress Socialist Party.
He had also been the president of the Provincial Kisan Sabha of Bihar and the vice president of the All India Kisan Sabha. At the 50th session of the Congress held at Faispur in 1937, he moved a resolution on the abolition of zamindari. While imprisoned in Hazaribagh jail, he also initiated a campaign, Janehu Todo Abhiyan, against casteism.
Benipuri was also a close associate of Jayaprakash Narayan. It was Benipuri who helped Jayaprakash Narayan escape from the Hazaribagh Central Jail in 1942.
Ram Braksh Benipuri was a prolific writer. Benipuri's first writing was published in 1916 in the paper named Pratap from Kanpur. The papers he edited were Tarun Bharat, Kisan Mitra, Golmaal, Balak, but the publication of Yuvak in 1929 made him more popular.
His stories picture the true rural life of North Bihar. His dramas covered mostly ancient events. He wrote Amba Palai during his detention in the Hazaribagh Central Jail. On this day in 1933 was born Ella Bhatt, a pioneer in women's empowerment and grassroots development. Ella was born in Ahmedabad. As a teenager, she influenced by the freedom movement. Which was at its peak then. Influenced by the Gandhian philosophy, Ella pursued the path of non-violence and self-reliance.
She is also known as the gentle revolutionary because of the way she brings women's issues to the forefront without resorting to violence. Ella Bhatt founded the Self-Employed Women's Association in India in 1972.
She was awarded the Raman Magsaysay Award for Community Leadership in 1977. The Government of India also awarded Ella Bhatt with the civilian honour of Padma Shri in 1985 and the Padma Bhushan in 1986.
She has served as a member of the Indian Parliament from 1986 to 1989.
Ella Bhatt is associated with a group called The Elders. The Elders is an independent group of global leaders working together for peace, justice and human rights. Ella is particularly involved with the initiative on equality for women and girls, including on the issue of child marriage.
Ella Bhatt has been honoured with the prestigious Radcliffe Medal and the Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development 2011 for her lifetime achievements in empowering women through grassroots entrepreneurship.
It was my childhood, my growing up. In toto, that has become more impressive to me. I have been influenced by the freedom movement.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
भारत के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में अनगिनत स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी। कुछ इतिहास में अमर हो गए और कई गुमनाम। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत 75 कड़ियों की श्रृंखला में हम उन वीरांगनाओं की बात करेंगे जिनका योगदान कभी भुलाया नहीं जा सकता। प्रत्येक मंगलवार परिक्रमा में सुनिए अपराजिता, देश की वीरांगनाओं को आकाशवाणी का सादर नमन।
In today's episode of Aparajita, we will bring you the saga of freedom fighter Rani Chennamma of Kittur, who led an armed rebellion against the British East India Company in 1824.
In Afghanistan, Taliban has claimed full control over the Panjshir Valley. At a press conference in Kabul, the Taliban spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid declared that the war has ended in Afghanistan with the fall of the last bastion of opposition forces. However, the National Resistance Front of Afghanistan refuted the claim of the Taliban and called it false. Ahmad Masood also alleged that the bombardment by Pakistan and Taliban in Panjshir killed resistance forces spokesman Fahim Dashti and many of Masood's family members. He said that Pakistan directly attacked Afghans in Panjshir and the international community watched silently.
Iran has strongly condemned the Taliban's military offensive against fighters of National Resistance Front in Afghanistan's Panjshir Valley. Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesman Saeed Khatibzadeh told reporters that the news coming from Panjshir is truly worrying. He said the assault is strongly condemned. Taliban spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid has said that a new Afghan government will be formed soon. However, he did not specify when the new cabinet will be announced. According to media reports, Taliban has invited China, Pakistan, Russia, Turkey, Iran and Qatar to attend the new government formation ceremony in Afghanistan. However, there has not been any formal word on this account from government agencies. In cricket, India beat England by 157 runs in the fourth test at Oval in London last night. Chasing a victory target of 368 runs, the hosts were bundled out for 210 in their second innings on the fifth and final day. For India, Umesh Yadav scalped 3 wickets and Jasprit Bumrah, Ravindra Jadeja and Shardul Thakur took 2 each. With this win, India has taken a 2-1 lead in the 5-match series. Earlier, India were all out for 466 in their second innings, taking a lead of 367 runs. Rohit Sharma with 127 runs was the top scorer in the second innings.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. Jammu is expected to have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm. Srinagar, Leh and Gilgit will have mainly clear skies. Muzaffarabad, the temperatures will hover between 20 and 36 degrees Celsius. The national capital Delhi, Mumbai and Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with rain. Kolkata, the minimum temperature was 27 degrees while the maximum will be around 32 degrees. Hyderabad and Bengaluru are expected to have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain. Guwahati, the minimum temperature was 27 degrees Celsius, maximum will be around 35 degrees. Imphal is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain. Shillong, the temperature will move from a minimum of 17 to a maximum of 26 degrees. Aizawl is predicted to have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Most newspapers today lead with the story on the Afghanistan front. Hindustan Times writes, Taliban claim Panjshir has fallen, resistance battles on. The other story that hogs the limelight today is that of the long-pending vacancies in key tribunals. Supreme Court directs Centre to fill tribunal vacancies by September 13, informs The Hindu. In order to check the enormous powers exercised by creditors, new code of COCs to bring in discipline, states the Financial Express. Taking stock of the stock market, indices hit new highs but gains limited, informs the Economic Times. With the belief that gains of resuming classes far outweigh risks, health experts' body calls for reopening all schools, is the lead in the Times of India. As India takes a 2-1 lead in the 5-match series, the pioneer carries a picture of the Indian team in jubilant mood. Bumrah, Jadeja decimate England. And finally, in some good news for conservationists, Odisha's Manta buffalo gets national recognition, writes the Statesman.
Before we end the bulletin, a reminder of today's question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Who founded the Free India Society? Repeat, who founded the Free India Society? WhatsApp your response on 8826546262. Repeat, 8826546262 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. Repeat, amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address inaugural conclave of Shikshak Parv at 10:30 a.m. today. India administers more than 1 crore doses of COVID vaccine in a single day. Vaccination coverage crosses 69 crore 68 lakh mark. 11 persons in contact list of Crore Nipah virus victim develop symptoms of infection. Centre asks Kerala government to strengthen hospital and community-based surveillance to contain outbreak of Nipah virus. Railways introduces new AC 3-tier economy class coaches with reduced fare. Enforcement Directorate questions Trinamool Congress MP Abhishek Banerjee in money laundering case linked to coal pilfered scam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to chair 13th BRICS Summit on Thursday. And in cricket, India beat England by 157 runs in 4th test to take 2-1 lead in 5-match series. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.